Marvel Rivals has a community problem. Now, for those who may not be aware of what I'm talking about, Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter 6v6 team-based game that has been released November of 2024. As of recent, it's been on, I believe, its 5th season. By the time I upload this video, it might be season 5.5. I'm not entirely sure yet. We just got a recent character, Gambit, one of the X-Men, very popular character, and almost everyone loves him, or at least one would think. But this video isn't about the characters or anything of that nature. It's about this horrible player base. Now, to give you a little bit of background on me, Devin Crispy, and my gaming history, for lack of better terms, when it comes to a competitive gaming standpoint, I played a lot of games. I played Call of Duty competitively. I played Warzone competitively, even though that was very brief. I've unfortunately played Apex and Fortnite competitively. And then don't even get me started on my fighting game bag. I played Tekken, Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear. I've all played this in a competitive standpoint in some shape or form. I even tried Overwatch for one split second. I even tried Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not sure if I already mentioned this. But something that I've noticed about this game that is so horrible, about Marvel Rivals in specific, that is so horrible, is that the competitive player base might be the worst competitive player base I've ever played with in my life. And just watching my Twitch streams, you will know that. But on the off chance this is my first time seeing you or your first time seeing me, let me give you a couple of examples. So, yesterday, whatchamacallit, I was playing called Marvel Rivals Ranked, you know, trying to get the Plat 3 again, because, you know, I had placement matches, and I got the Plat 3, and then I went back down to Gold 1, so I'm like, ah, shit. So, after all the placement matches done, I'm playing the game, and we get into the ban phase of characters. The team that I matched up with, there was this guy who was trying to play Hawkeye, and the guy who was trying to play Spider-Man, I was trying to play Gambit. The guy who's playing Spider-Man and the guy who was playing Hawkeye randomly banned Gambit, even though the guy that on our team was attempting to play Gambit. And they said in the game chat, oh, it's too early for ranked Gambits to be throwing. Whatever reasoning you want to try to justify that is beyond me. But at the end of the day, if the person that you're trying to ban is someone that that's being used by somebody, that's kind of a dickhead move. But I'm just like, all right, whatever. That Gambit player ends up banning Spider-Man as, I guess, retaliation. And then the Spider-Man was like, started whining like a baby in the game chat and said, my one trick is gone. And then picks Black Widow to throw the game. I'm not kidding when I say this. He genuinely threw us the fucking game. He didn't switch to anybody new. He didn't even try new characters. He deadass said, oh, I don't get to play my character, so I will play a character that I know for a fact I don't know how to play just so I can sell my team. Whether you have the moral standpoint of, oh, these people ban my character, so I'm retaliating, whatever mindset you have, the fact that the entire team has to suffer because you're throwing a temper tantrum. Mind you, these aren't kids, by the way. These are grown men. 20, 30-year-old men sometimes. These are adults acting like fucking children. And that's not even to get started on just the other smaller shit that I constantly encounter in this game. Like, if I'm being honest, I could probably pull up a whole RICO case of some of my people who are genuinely throwing. I thought I was trying to be nice to the support players. I'm like, you know, support players already get enough flack as it is. But the amount of times that I've had to go support just to save my team because my supports were trying to play fucking DPS or they were diving the other team. And it's only gotten worse with this season. I've seen plenty of Gambits try to play dive Gambit, DPS Gambit, and go like 1 in 17 or some shit. Or I've seen other scenarios where back before Gambit even came out, niggas was playing Mantis and diving with her. The problem is with Marvel Rivals that most of you niggas don't know how to play the fucking game. Like, at all. I don't get it. Like, you niggas don't know how to play hero shooters, you don't know how to work as a team, and you don't want to work as a team. And I think that's the biggest issue with Marvel Rivals player base. Because you could say, oh, it might be the racism or the sexism or the homophobia. That's in every player base. Unfortunately, you're just gonna deal with that. But at least with Call of Duty, if I was getting called slurs, them niggas weren't selling my games. At the very minimum. Bro, Marvel Rivals is so bad that I'm deadass rethinking about picking up Rainbow Six Siege. The competitive scene might be like one of the worst competitive scenes I've genuinely have ever seen in gaming. I'm not gonna lie. Like, these niggas realize that it's a team game, but they refuse to work with their team. Or if their team is trying to make adjustments, they'll be like, nah, I don't wanna. And just expect you to deal with it. Or they'll hit you with the, just play better, bro. Like, they're not actively selling the fucking team. I genuinely don't even know, like, how to, like, muster up the words to, like, adequately make sure, like, I'm genuinely lost for words for sometimes how stupid this player base is. And let's say you get a non-toxic person, right, who's just ass at the game. I'd rather deal with that than niggas who's ass at the game, and you're like, hey, can we make some adjustments? And they'd be like, fuck you, I don't want to switch. Niggas will be playing fucking dive whatever character, it doesn't matter which dive character, into fucking penny mines, you know, best tank in the game, who's really meant to stop the dive meta entirely, and just keep doing it. They realize the shit's not working, but they're just gonna keep doing it. Like, the brain, it's just, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, and that's the issue. The game itself, the mechanics itself, in my personal opinion, aren't that bad. You know, it's very simple. If I'm being honest, in terms of a skill floor, this is probably the lowest skill floor I've ever seen. This is probably the, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't have a high skill ceiling. And I'll say it has one. You know, I think it has a pretty high skill ceiling. But obviously, it's still easier compared to like almost any other game I've ever played. Apex, it's easier than Fortnite. It's easier, it's easier than Fortnite. I'm saying that. It's easier than Call of Duty. Way easier than Rainbow Six Siege. Like, it's easier than these games. And it could be so simple. But the niggas that you're matched up with is an actual issue. And I know a lot of you might be saying, oh, Dev, it's the issue, it's the issue, right? You're the issue, because, you know, they're matching up with people who are similar to you, right? You would think. I've been playing this game since release. In Diamond 3 lobbies, Diamond 2 lobbies, shit, I've even seen it in Grandmaster lobbies. Niggas are running Dive Punisher. For those who don't play Marvel Rivals and don't know what I'm talking about, imagine a character whose entire kit is set up to be in the back line shooting projectiles at the entire enemy team. There's no melee attacks. There's no quick movement to get in and out. I'm talking about straight artillery. Now imagine that same character posting up in that enemy back line. I'm talking about in their back line, like in the mix with them, trying to scrap up and shit. There are certain characters I can understand a dive with. Moon Knight, kind of iffy, but I can understand that. A Namor, once again, kind of iffy, but I can understand that. Dive Punisher. It's the fact that niggas will look at you like you're the bad guy for calling him out. I remember playing the game last week. Some random dude was selling our team. He was like, yo, this Gambit's selling, he's not healing. Yo, this Gambit's selling, he's not healing. I looked at the end game stats. The Gambit was selling, the nigga was not healing. That is true. That did happen. I switched to healer for like the last two deaths that I had, and I had more healing than him. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? But that aside, niggas were getting on our Namor's ass, because that was the dude who was complaining, for being 3 and 6. Like our Gambit wasn't like 2 and 9 with no heals. He only had 69 heals. I promise you, if I can go back and find the screenshot for this video, I will post it here. The nigga had like 69 heals, that ass, through the entire game. Like, and niggas were mad at the fucking Namor. And I was like, bro, the Namor's calling him out. Niggas have negative brain capacity when they play this game. Like, having a brain and being a Marvel Rivals player, for whatever reason, never coincides. They never cross paths, ever. I thought I figured out why. Someone's like, oh yeah, the Overwatch players invaded. Nah, the Overwatch players don't even like this shit. The Overwatch niggas deadass don't even like Marvel Rivals. So we can't blame it on them, genuinely. We deadass can't blame it on them. So it's like, who could it possibly be? Did all the good players leave because they realized how much of a shit show this player base is? Like, I don't get it. I genuinely don't. I genuinely do not. So, I don't know. I say all that to say this. I'm retiring from Marvel Rivals Ranked. This shit, I'm taking my talents to literally anything else. If you did like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. On the off chance that you already are subscribed, be sure to actually turn on post notifications and share that with, comment down below what's your thoughts on the Marvel Rivals player base. Like, genuine, like, what are your worst experiences? I don't know, like, it's a shit show. So